And joining me now, Wendell Moore Jr. from Duke. And after the first month of the season, hard to believe we already had a month since the Champions Classic and that Duke win over Kentucky. Wendell, you were on my list for one of the surprise players in terms of production this season. You have almost doubled your production from last season, 17 points a game, really become one of the leaders of this Duke team and one of the best teams in the country. As you entered this season, what did you anticipate your role being?
I really just anticipated just being that leader. I think for me, I knew I was one of the more experienced guys on our team. I think we brought in probably 9 new guys to our squad. So even though I'm still considered young and I'm a junior, I was put in the role early to be in a position really to lead our team.
You know, Wendell, we've seen this over the years with Duke where they've always needed that experienced lead guard in addition to the high-profile freshmen. And I think back to like Quinn Cook, you know, in leading Duke, helping them, you know, with Trey Jones and leading them to a championship. You know, you can play that role. How was that discussion with you and Coach K and Coach Shire and the entire staff about where you would fit in and being that kind of leader for this Duke team?
I mean, really the conversation was them just really instilling all their trust and their confidence in me to be able to do that. And I probably said it really started at the end of last season. I think for me, there wasn't really an off season. Like a normal off season. Basically, I was just here working out, kind of changing my body, changing a little bit of my game. I really just getting my mental space right in order to be put in the position that I'm in now. So that's kind of something that we've been talking about since the end of last season. So everything I've been doing up to now has just been preparing me for this role in the situation that I'm in.
Obviously, you had this within you to be this kind of a scorer. You just needed the opportunities and this kind of role. But how has your game changed to where you can be much more productive here as a junior?
I kind of just flipped the switch in my own mind. I had the utmost confidence in myself that I know that really my abilities I'm on the floor really second to none. And now I had that instilled confidence in myself. And then along with the confidence from my teammates and my coaches, it all adds up really to be kind of stable in my game, which I think is my mental standpoint right now.
Wendell, you guys have had a great month. 1 loss on the road at Ohio State in the Big Ten ACC Challenge game against Kentucky to start the season, and then that epic game against Gonzaga in Las Vegas. What was it like to play in an environment like that? Packed house, neutral floor. It felt like a Final Four game, and we hadn't felt that in 2 years because of COVID. What was it like to be a part of that?
I mean, that experience was amazing. It was definitely one of the more fun games and the more exciting games that I played in my college career. I mean, honestly, that's the game that we all been looking for since the start of this season. I mean, that's the game that we all had circled on our calendar. So all the games leading up to it, we were excited for those too, but we just knew that that game was the one that we really wanted to get. And so leading up to it, all the guys were excited. But at the same time, none of us were really that nervous. Again, we all had that confidence in each other that we knew we were just going to go out there and perform, have fun, and just be each other. So doing that with those guys, it was really the most fun I've ever had. Definitely playing the game and definitely a start to our season.
All right, so what are your 1 month impressions of this freshman class?
I mean, they're outstanding. And not just Paulo and Trevor, I mean, but that goes for all of them. And Jalen and AJ, they all come to work every single day. And honestly, it's been like that since they stepped foot on campus. And honestly, that's what's impressed me the most with these freshmen is that they've always stayed true to the work. And no matter how much we're winning, no matter how much we practice, no matter how tired guys are, whenever I walk in the gym at night, I always see at least one of them in the gym getting some extra work. So I'm always proud to see that.
And Wendell, lastly, as you get ready for the ACC, you know, end of this month into January, how do you make sure you keep that momentum going in games that you guys should win but should play well as you build up back toward where you're going to obviously get challenged pretty heartily in the ACC?
I think first, I think it starts always playing with that chip on our shoulder. We know that we have Duke going across our chest. We have Coach K, and it's his last season, so everybody is out to get us. Everybody's out to beat us, and I think our game is going to be everybody's biggest game. And I think that's one thing that we all have to instill in our minds, that every game we play is the other team's biggest game of the season, so we're going to get their best shot, which means we always have to come ready. We have to come prepared. We can't have any bad practices. And anytime we step on the floor, we just have to be in the mindset that we just have to win.
Wendell, I appreciate it. Outstanding first month, and I know the next 3 are probably going to be just the same. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.